also love my next guest. Every Tuesday, he hangs out with us. He likes to get into my head and tell me when I'm wrong. He's like one of the few people that can tell me when I'm wrong about something because I won't actually listen to anyone else. So
You want some? Come get some.
I'm going to break your fingers, Sajay. I'm going to break your fingers. I'm going to break them. Coach Wayde!
Greetings and salutations. How's it going?
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. We lost Olivia Newton-John. I'm still kind of Sandy. You know, I'm still kind of bummed about that right there.
Yeah.
It's like big deal.
I
just know I don't see the pain in your eyes about this, Coach. You should feel more pain.
It's been some ice baths I've had to do for my eyes to get rid of the bags from all the crying. It's
You know what?
It's been a long day.
You know
It's
what?
been a long day.
You're not supposed to lie. You're not supposed to tell a lie, Coach. You're not supposed to tell a lie.
I don't tell lies. Just talk when I go, sir.
All right. Well, today we want to talk to you because, like, you know, I was having this conversation. I was bringing it up to Abby, and Abby gave me this look of heck to the no, never gonna happen. And in my head, I was like, yeah, we need to talk about this because it's a real thing. People date, people move on in their life. You know, you break up with your significant other, whether you as a man have custody of the kids or whether you as the woman have custody of the kids. Life goes on. You usually end up dating again. And usually if you date again and it ends up long term, then there is a lot of connection and going out with the kids and being around the kids. So the question I wanted to talk about today is when would be the proper time to allow your new significant other a little say-so in the parenting discipline. Discipline not just meaning spanking, just meaning if the kid does something wrong, they can do corrective action, whether it's the stern conversation, whether it's putting them in a corner, or whatever it may be. When do you allow the new person in your life, well, not new anymore, I would assume, no new person, but the person you are with now to have a footing in that?
Well, my thing is, why would you engage in a relationship with someone if you don't trust their judgment and their ability to have a conversation with your child? Why would you even get into that relationship with that person if you don't trust their judgment? Because there's going to be a time where you have to leave them alone with your child at some point or the other. Are you saying that you want them to be able to have the child run rampant all over the house, breaking all kind of things, and they don't get to say anything to the child? They just watch them because you're not allowed to discipline my child? I like that you clarify what discipline means, because discipline in Jamaica is spanking and slapping and beating and all of that.
The minute you say discipline, it's like, oh, spank. No, that's not what I mean. And that's not the definition of discipline.
You can discipline my child and we're not dating.
Right.
You can discipline my child and you've just met. Because if you see a child doing something, this is why we have the old adage of, it takes a community to raise a child. You remember growing up in country, if I did something wrong, the amount of beatings I'm getting on the way home.
Listen. And then when you get home, they called your parents, or they sent some kind of message,
right?
And you're gonna get it again. They're not gonna get mad at the person who gave you the discipline on the way home,
because they did it for a right reason. I'm sure they did it for a good reason, or else they wouldn't have done it. So that's, I think, where we lose the whole thought of it. Everyone's so protective of their child that you take away your child's ability to be raised properly,
right?
Because you're worried about how somebody says something, or if someone says something, I should say, to your child, because don't talk to my child about what they did wrong. Well, why not? Why can someone not have a conversation? Let's say you're dating for 2 months and you've chosen to introduce your child to this person. Why would you introduce your child to someone if you don't trust their judgment and their ability to have a conversation with your child? Exactly. That means you don't think that person's ready yet to meet your child. So then don't introduce them.
There's also, I think, a side of this conversation where you have people that are failing as a parent. And I think somewhere in the back of their mind, they know it, but they don't want to admit to it. So now when they have someone who's a little bit more firmer in life and more rooted in life, and they say anything, I think there's a shame factor to them not wanting them to do anything,
You're 100% right. There are people who they feel that they have not lived up to a certain expectation. So now you're coming in and doing a better job than I was able to do this entire time. And instead of embracing that, because, there are things that my wife does better than I do. Yeah. And there are things that I do better than she does. But that complements, and that compliment is what you're looking for. If I'm a different disciplinarian than she is, then there are going to be times when she's going to step in, and there are going to be times when I'm going to step in.
Yeah.
And it really depends on the situation. So if you find yourself dating someone who has sound judgment, who's very logical, who can sit down and talk with your child and doesn't have to yell every single thing at them, can sit down and reason and get through to your child, why would you feel offended? You should be celebrating that.
Exactly.
You should be so happy. But you're right. There are people who don't have that emotional intelligence. They don't have that ability to say, you know what, I'm going to embrace this. They get intimidated by it, and so now they blame that person for doing it.
And
so
and also there's the other side of the fence where it's like they will recognize this person, their discipline style is not conducive to actually doing anything good for the child. It might come off even abusive, and usually women like that have noticed those signs to themselves, but again, just for the sake of having a boyfriend, will ignore it and allow, this person to deal with their child the same way and say things. We see it in the news all the time. Ex-boyfriend, strangles, girlfriend's son, or all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to ask you in that, because what kind of question can I put there?
There's really nothing much to ask at that point. The question, I guess, in there is really, when do you recognize that the person is not the right person and maybe separate yourself from them? If people can't ever recognize that the person they're dating is wrong for them, they're probably not going to recognize that the person they're dating is wrong for their child as well too, right? And that's where we're quick to get into relationships because we want to fill that void.
Right.
It's just that filling that void with anything isn't right, and they say if you're stranded at sea, you shouldn't drink the salt water, even though you're thirsty, because that will kill you
Please
even
don't.
more.
Like, seriously.
And that's what you're doing. You're stranded right now, and you're taking anything in to help fill a void, and it's not going to work out.
If you're stranded in the ocean, drink your pee.
Drink your pee. No, seriously, drink your pee.
I didn't say it in a joke. I was serious. Nope. It sounds gross, but if you're stranded in the ocean, drink your pee. You have a choice: die or drink your pee. Die or drink your pee. I mean, well, there's other options, but it depends what you're trapped with on the boat. There's little makeshift things that can filter your water, but 9 times out of 10, if you're stranded, you ain't got them. You ain't got
It's very rare that you're going to be in a situation where you have all these things to desalinate the water that you have. It's probably not going to happen.
I got my little pot. I'm going to boil it out, and trapped in sea.
Some people, I'm going to wait for it to rain. I'm going to catch the rainwater. Where are you? Where do you think this is? Because if it's raining and you're trapped at sea, you got more problems than the rainwater.
Oh, yes, you do.
Worry about the pee. So,
I love it.
Abby, let your spouse discipline your child. Yeah. I'm not saying let them beat your child. But
if you say
spouse,
once you done married this person, you done said, by this point, you should already know that this person is trustworthy and someone safe to have around your child. Yeah. If you married this person and you still got a question mark on letting them be, then you the one with
you
the
shouldn't have married that person in the first place.
You got something.
Remember, I said
it
before, you get the cow and the calf as well too. You have to realize that the whole kit and caboodle comes along with it. I had 2 children before I met my wife, and
why is that only mainly with women? Why is that mainly a woman thing? Because 9 times out of 10, when you date the guy, a lot of times his calves don't come with him.
I just clarified that though. I said when I met my wife, I already had my 2 children. My children came along, and she became a parent to the children
but
as well, too.
But that's rare. Think about, honestly, let's think about, we're not talking marriage, we're talking dating. It is rare when you date a guy that you have to take his kids on, too. Because usually the mom of those kids ain't trying to have it anyway. They ain't,
it's rare only because of the individuals involved in it. It shouldn't be rare. Yeah. It's rare because of the individuals involved in it. Now, ladies, if you're dating a man and he has met your children, but you haven't met his, these are red flags that you should be looking for. If you're dating someone, they're always available. There's not a weekend or a weekday that they say that, I can't do something because I'm with my children or anything of the sort. These are things.
That is a red flag.
That's a red flag.
Unless his kids don't live.
Is, something. Or
maybe they live in a whole different country. Yes, circumstances. Exactly. But if he's out here hanging out with your kids, right? And he got kids, but you don't never see him with his kids. Trust me, he's one of them men that
he or buy something for his kids, or have any plans that surround his kids. these are red flags.
You
So
see him buying Christmas gift for your kids, but you ain't see him do nothing over there for his kids. You really, that's not a good thing, ladies. That's actually something that's really, really bad, and it's going to lead you down a bad road. You might not see it right away because he's giving you the flowers, but men like that, there's a lot of host of issues that come with those type of men, okay?
And that's why I'm saying that it's circumstantial. It should be that the men come with the children as well too, because a man shouldn't date a woman that's not going to be respectful and wanting to be involved in your children's life. I've had women that I dated that say, "Oh, I don't want kids." Well, this is the end of the journey for us. I'm not interested in children. That's fine. I respect your decision. That's good on you. However, I don't want you getting with me and then turn around and tell me that I have regrets or I have resentment or we can't travel because of this, that, and the other because you're a kid. No, these are the things that people should be looking out for. If a man says he doesn't want to have kids and you have kids, then you should probably rethink that relationship and get in a serious relationship. If a woman says she doesn't want to have kids and you have kids, you should rethink that relationship because he's not wanting to be around your kids. He wants to be with you.
Think long term.
He doesn't want to be with them.
Think in the long term. Yeah. That's really
that's what we call dating with a purpose. And people don't date with a purpose. They just date for circumstance and current. But where's this leading to? Listen, I threw my corn. I did not call any fouls.
I'm gonna plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
No. What do they say? Present company excluded.
That's my car key. Sorry, somebody found my car key. I've been looking for that forever. Thank goodness I had a spare. I would have been like totally just done for. Oh my gosh. Now I forgot what we were saying because they literally just showed me my car key and I dug out the whole world looking for that.
What were we talking about? Being mindful of people who don't want to have children. Yeah.
No, but you know what? I mean, I feel like life is this. Like what we're saying is 100% true to everything, but you also have to know what you want in life. If you're not dating with a purpose, then you need to be clear as well to whoever you're dating. Let them know that, hey, I'm willing to be around for a time, but don't count on me to be here for long term.
Apart from dating with a purpose.
And don't get involved with the kids with that.
Right. What you're talking about is intentionally dating as well, too. Make your intentions clear.
Okay.
Make your intentions very clear at the beginning. This is just a fun thing. This is not anything else but that. We're just going to have fun. I don't want to meet your kids. I don't want to sleep over at your house. I don't want to, do anything. It's just a fun thing. Make that intentionally clear at the beginning.
Right.
Or if you're dating for a purpose, make that intentionally clear. This is not a fun thing.
No.
This is a serious thing. I am looking for long term. I'm looking for a partner, a soulmate, a spouse, whatever you want to call it. Be very purposeful and very intentional in your dating. Yeah. And we don't have these conversations, Nikki. We just get into a relationship with someone and we just start.
And it's so simple to just make your intentions clear. A lot of us are walking around angry at the next one or, for whatever reason. Women, you're angry that he was having other women. I can't call it cheating if y'all never had a conversation that y'all going to be, solo. If y'all exclusive. If you never had a conversation that you're exclusive, he wasn't cheating. He was just dating other people. So that's not the same thing. And so many people have that just warped in their head. You know what I mean? And it's not just women, it's men too, because men will get them good girl or them like, and they expect the good girl not to do nothing, but they're not giving the good girl any key to say, okay, it's gonna be me and you, we're gonna work on a monogamous relationship. They just want the good girl to stay a good girl while they stay a man whore. I mean,
here's the answer. Oh, I thought you knew that we were. Oh, I assumed that we were. Oh, it seemed clear that we were.
No.
No. Nothing's clear unless you speak about it. If you can't
grab your cojones and ask the question, what are we? Then you're not together. You're still not together because you're still afraid to open your mouth and ask a simple question. What are we? So if you can't have that.
I'll tell you something. By the time you ask that question, it's probably too late.
That's true.
Unless
unless you ask it
late.
after the first 3 dates, you know what I'm saying?
But that's what I'm saying. After the first 3 dates, let your intentions be clear.
Yeah.
So you don't have to ask, what are we?
Mhm.
Because you've made it very clear that I'm not into the bun thing. I'm not into the multiple women or the multiple men thing. I'm not into. Once you make those questions clear, you should know what we are. We are exclusive. We're dating with a purpose. We're intentional.
Yeah.
We're not fooling around with other people. You don't ever have to ask the question, what are we? Because you made what we are clear at the beginning by saying what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But if you have to go, what are we? It's usually because something has happened that's making you wonder what you actually are.
And now you have the question in your head. That sucks.
Now you're wondering what we are really.
That sucks.
a lot of things about relationships suck, and it's by book up. We find out a lot of things, by when something happens and we get disappointed or we get hurt, because we never clarified. And that's the nature of relationships.
I mean, before we go, I mean, I'm just saying, after a couple of weeks, do you really know if you want to commit to this person?
No.
So then how do you make it an intention if you're just still trying to get to know the person? Just to clarify that.
No, that's fair. It's a very, very fair question.
Yeah.
Here's the intentional part of it. You should not have only seen that person twice or spoken with them twice in that 2 weeks time period.
Okay.
In that time period, you should have had conversations on the phone. Those late night ones where you pass out and wake up and you realize you're son of,
the fun stuff.
Still have had those types of conversations. And within those conversations, over those 2 weeks, you're not just talking about the fuzzy stuff or what vacation do you like, what kind of food do you like, what's your favorite color. You're speaking intentionally about what your future holds, what you're looking for, what you want out of what we're doing right now. These are conversations that should be had over that time. But if all you're doing is engaging in just text randomly here and there, and you just meet up and that's it, where are you? Let's meet. If that's all you're talking about, then no, you will never get clarity on who the person is. The relationship I'm in now works only because we were long distance. And why is that? We had no distractions. Let's call it that, because my mother-in-law might be listening. So we had no distractions.
I get what you mean. No.
And so all we had was talk and conversations, and it allowed us to get to know each other on a deeper level.
Yeah.
We don't do that as much as we need to.
I feel like it's a resurgence of long distance relationships. There's quite a few people I know who are now actually having those, and I think it's because things have become so accessible that now it's appealing again to connect with someone who is not as accessible. It's weird how everything turns full circle, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and the part of that as well too, because you are so right. It is becoming more prevalent. It's because the way we connect with people is different than how we used to connect before. You used to connect with people through your small network and your small community, and so you're always in proximity. But now our community is the WWW. Yeah. So you can connect with someone in New York while you're living in Jamaica, and so now the way we interact with people is different. So or you meet someone in Jamaica who travels to the U.S. or Canada all the time. So now your relationships become long distance simply. What's that smile? You see that smile?
Nah, because when you said it, I started thinking about all the dudes who got long distance girlfriends in foreign and they local girlfriends in Jamaica. Like my brain just started thinking about.
We're not talking about that.
I know, but that's why I didn't say nothing. You asked me why did I smile that way? Because I'm like,
I saw the smile. I'm like
they getting away with murder right now. Like foreign UK bae pay my rent, but my local bae reaping the benefits. I'm just saying.
Man, ask me no questions, I tell you no lies. And that's the thing, I said to my wife that my phone is viewer discretion advised. Whatever you go in there and see is what you go in there. Don't be looking at my phone if you don't want to see certain things. And I leave my phone wherever it's unlocked. She knows what it is. I have no issues with her looking and seeing, but I'm in some groups with some of my friends that they may say certain things and certain things that, I didn't ask for. So viewer discretion is advised. But long distance relationship only works where there's trust. Yeah. If I had to be wondering what she's doing on a Friday night or a Saturday night or who she's talking to while we're not talking, if work. I had to live in that world, it wouldn't work. So I just came to the conclusion, even now that we're living together, my conclusion is if she wants to cheat, there's nothing in the entire world I could do to stop her. Nope. If he wants to cheat, there's nothing in the entire world that you can do to stop him. So you have to live your life on the, on the understanding that you're just going to do what you got to do, and people are going to do what they have to do. And until you find evidence that someone's doing something that they should be doing, stop accusing people and just let it go. Let go and let God.
You hear what he just said? Stop accusing people. If you have to sit here and constantly have arguments with whoever you're dating about what they were doing, could you just leave the relationship? Because you're annoying. Like, literally, you're annoying. And even if the person isn't doing something, you're going to annoy them and they're going to leave anyway. Because it is super annoying.
That's where the conversation usually starts, in your head.
Yeah.
You start that argument in your head. Before you even start talking to the person, you're already arguing with them in your head.
In your head.
I'm no saying I do this and she do that, and wait till me talk to him, because what's the point?
And then exactly. And then most of the time, after you get the answer, what you know is going to be a lie, you stay with them anyway. So here's what I say to some of you: why even spark the argument? Exactly. Why? There's no point to those arguments, because first of all, if he is doing it, he ain't gonna care, because he got spare tires to go to. So all you yapping, he just gonna go over here and make his life simpler. And if he isn't cheating, you're going to run him away. So here's the thing: if you feel like you're with someone who is a cheater, it is up to you to walk away from the relationship, or find another way to contain your jealousy until you have receipts.
Well, let's not call it your jealousy. Find a way to contain your insecurities.
Yeah. That's a better word. Insecurity,
Find
not
a way
jealousy. Insecurity.
So here's the thing: if you're looking for something, you'll find it.
You'll find it.
Whether the person's cheating or not, if you believe they are and you've convinced yourself that they are, you'll find enough evidence to support your cause. And no matter what.
Yep.
So that's your insecurities that you need to deal with. Stop projecting it on other people and blaming them because you can't control yourself.
Because you are insecure. I thank you so much for that, my favorite Coach Wayde. I love talking to you every single Tuesday, putting some smarts in some folks' brains. But where can they follow you? And also, if they want to get some life coaching going on in their life, how do they, keep the lock?
If you want to get in touch, Instagram is the best place, and Take Two Steps Forward. If you want to go old school, you can find me online at www.taketwostepsforward.com. Those are the two best ways to actually get in touch with me. And
Sajay is saying something in sign language that I don't understand. I think he just wanted me to say his name. So Sajay. Okay, so now we're going to go and play. I don't know why, Juan. All right, Coach Wayde on the bass. Make sure you follow him. And seriously, people, it really is about mental health. And a lot of the battles we face is definitely in our own mind. So instead of projecting what's going on in your mind, try and find other ways to deal with it, and try to find ways to make your space a more calmer space for you. Figure out you. You have to figure out you. Right, Coach?
You got to find your peace.
Got to find your
peace. No one can find it for you.
I think I found some of mine.
It's hard.
Bye, Coach.
Oh, God, you know it's hard.